Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Talking Mons, our Digimon Ghost Cape recap podcast. My name is JD, and I've got two beautiful people, Jeanette and Gary, here.
Oh, you.
I use that.
Beautiful. We're all beautiful.
Do you guys know that stupid OU reaction gif of the guy and the dog?
Yes. The thing is, I'm especially beautiful, so there we go.
Yeah. I use that reaction a lot. Anyway, this week we're going to be tackling episodes 41 and 42, titled Clown and Human Hunter, respectively. So we'll just go ahead and jump into episode 41, Clown. And like we were saying before we started the episode, it's the lamest episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! Ever.
10, Dark Magician. No Karibo, no Heart of the Cards moment. I mean, there is a Heart of the Cards moment, but they don't quote Heart of the Cards.
Yeah,
so.
there's a moment where Ruli has to believe in the Heart of the Cards, and it is hilarious from just like an outside perspective.
Yes.
Yeah. And every card is a trap card.
Hell yeah. This episode, I was getting kind of some vibes about. You guys remember when it was a while back, but it was the devil tarot card reading tent that traveled around town.
Yeah.
So I was getting some kind of vibes with that, because it's like there's a traveling circus that just kind of pops up, and kids will go to see, and what ends up happening is they are forced to walk a tightrope, and if they can't make it to the other side, they are turned into a playing card.
Well, it's not that. There's one more step ahead of it, is that they do act like a normal circus with like families and stuff.
Yeah.
But then they give, which is a huge red flag, they select kids and give them a special cards for them to scan on their phone.
And then they kidnap them in the night.
Yeah.
And then they tell them they cannot tell their parents about the card. Remember?
Oh yeah.
If someone wants you to keep secrets from your parents, it's no go. No go.
That's how you get bad touch.
Yeah. Or bad tightrope walking.
Yeah, something like that. So it turns out that Piedmon, if you remember back to OG Adventure, is one of the Dark Masters and is kind of like super powerful and shit. He just has a circus that he's running. He's got like a tiny little rocket cat. He's got Flame Wizardmon. He's got a Flame Cat, and he's also got Mephistomon, who is a giant like demon goat man.
It's kind of amazing.
They all just kind of work for him and whatnot. I'm just gonna say it. I think Piedmon's whole shtick here is super stupid.
It was. Go ahead.
No, it's just like, and especially because how it resolves. I think it's super stupid, because basically he's just turning kids into cards so that he can, and apparently he did this in the digital world too, so he can have a full playing deck, like of fear or something. I don't know.
Well, he did say whoever wins makes the rule. It's like the only winners get to make the rules.
The strong survive or whatever. But
yeah,
he just has a gambling problem and he needs help.
Yeah,
kind of.
Go ahead.
Yeah, but go ahead, you guys. Tell me what you thought about this.
I mean, I will say this episode lacked tension, because it was like the problem, Rory's not going to lose, she's going to win. There was no tension, but I did like the voice actor for Paimon just hammed up whatever he was doing and really got into it. That's what made the episode still fun for me.
Yeah.
I don't like the premise, but I do like Paimon's attitude. Like, he is, whatchamacallit, lawful evil? Is that the alignment? He sets the rule and follows the rule. He did up the stake, but everything is still like clearly explained out. There was no trick or fine print.
He follows his own rules and he sticks to them. So I mean, at least get on him for that.
Yeah, so I mean, it's, at least for me anyway, it's kind of refreshing to see an antagonist that is the straightforward.
Mm-hmm.
I did like the episode in that it was different than like battle, necessarily just a straight battle with the enemy. Like, it was a different vibe. I don't think it was well executed, but at least it was a different thing than I've seen in the show so far.
Sure.
Hio is missing from this episode, and I feel like he would have been a lot funny. Like, there would be a lot of comedic moment for him if he was in this episode.
Yeah, he at the beginning of the episode, they're like, we should have invited Kyo, and Hero's like, yeah, we tried to, and he apparently he just had better things to do.
He has a conference.
He has a conference to go to. I do like that they keep hammering this fucking Espimon is still looking for the real hero, so they try to invite him to the circus. He's like, no, I have to go do this thing still. He's like, oh, dude, I'm still right here.
I have a job to do.
I guess. So yeah,
He's dedicated.
Yeah, so just Ruli and Hiro go to this thing. So it was kind of just a nice episode with the two of them.
Mhm.
I will say I will give them points for having an interesting way of being the bad guy, because the second that they revealed, hey, this is Piedmon, I'm like, no, you guys are not at a level in which you could fight this man. Like, no. Like, I don't care how powerful Kano Weissmon is, he cannot step to Piedmon. Not
No.
yet.
Not ever.
Yeah. So yeah, and I did think the whole, even like you said, Jeanette, that there is no tension really, because Ruli's gonna win that card game at the end. I did find a little bit of tension for how it's going to play out and how long they're going to play it out. And if Piedmon was actually going to stick to he loses if he's going to throw a tantrum, or if he is actually going to stick to okay, I'm going to free everybody now. Which he does, so that's kind of nice.
Exactly.
He realizes that he is not the strongest, so he bows to Ruli.
So no one is stronger than Rory. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
But my question is, are they still going to be traveling as a circus act? He promised there's not going to turn people into cards again, but are they just going to be randomly popping up? I mean, I guess if they're not going to have any evil deed or trickery, good for them. But other than that, I feel like they just kind of left them a little too off the hook.
Yeah.
And they got to go turn Digimon into playing cards. That's still okay.
Yeah, he said that's what he did before, and now he's in the real world, and now he's doing it to people. Again, this episode ends with Hiro giving them a slap on the wrist, but when he literally just tells Piedmon's like, dude, just go buy a deck of cards. It's not that hard. And he's like, oh yeah, I should probably go do that. The episode ends. Yeah, so that was just silly, and yet another episode where the villains are told, stop being bad, and they're like, okay, like you do.
Kind of at this point, between this episode and last episode, the Digimon are absolutely a menace to society, and I'm surprised that no one really gives it a second thought.
Right?
Yeah, these things, they're actively really harmful to society.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, they've been responsible for many murders at this point.
I find this thing just really funny about this episode, especially because of Japanese bureaucracy culture. Mm-hmm. Is that the most unrealistic part is not the circus showing up or Paimon kidnapping kids. It's that there is no random grown-up trying to check for everybody's permits. It's like, how did they get here? They didn't schedule this. Right. What department did you go for?
Playing card too.
Oh god. But yeah, so this one's silly. It's cool to see Piedmon and his goofy little circus, and the guy, the Digimon he has under his employ. So I mean that part was fun, and having Ruli have to we're not gonna punch our way out of the situation. We have to basically outplay him. So I mean that was kind of fun.
Yeah, this and the previous episode of the Spiral is the exact polar opposite of each other. I like as silly as it is, I like the villain and I like the method that they beat him, but I hate the premise.
Yeah.
But on the opposite side of the Spiralist, I love the Spiral mystery, but I hated how they beat the villain, and I hated the villain.
Right. No, I'm totally with you on that.
Yeah, I just thought seeing Piedmon again was pretty cool.
Yeah.
He's such a cool design.
He's a big old clown, man. Which honestly, I should have seen coming when this episode was called Clown, because I'm like, wait a minute, who's a clown? And Piedmon's really the only one, so at least that I can think of.
Hope there's no more clown Digimon. I really don't like clowns.
Jeremy Snow here, owner and editor-in-chief of The Geekly Grind. I'm interrupting your awesome, regularly scheduled programming to ensure that you know about our Geekly Grind podcast network, of which this show is a treasured member of. If you haven't had a chance to check out our site, you can do so at www.thegeeklygrind.com, and while you're there, check out the other members of our steadily growing podcast family, including the anime-centric Blake and Spencer Get Jumped, discovering new heroes and comic book keepers with Chris and Lance, exploring the vast universe of geekdom with Geeksploration, or of course appreciating animation's finer details with the Ink and Paint Club. Escape your weekly grind at the Geekly Grind.
Alright, well that will put us into episode 42, which is called Human Hunter. No, it's not about the Predator. Kind of, but not really.
Oh, yeah.
So this neighborhood is being haunted by a whole gaggle of this Digimon I've never heard of called Oboromon, or big like ghost samurai dudes. And what they'll do is they will come upon somebody and say like, hey, show me something of this color. And if they don't have it, then they take their soul.
And body.
Yeah, they'll just take them into another dimension, which we find out they're like being turned into like a big human chain, like linked, like their arms are fused together, human chain.
Setting.
So they meet up with a girl that her sister has been taken away, and start encountering these Oboromon, and Hiro gets dusted pretty fast, honestly.
And it's all because of Kyo's fault.
Yeah, Kyo's being a real bitch in this one, like more so than usual.
Yeah. So that particular Oboromon. Actually, at first we thought there's only one of them. That's what part of the mystery. And he doing Kyo's usual scaredy cat routine took Hiro's red hoodie as Oboromon was asking for red.
Yep.
And that's literally it.
And that's why Hiro gets dusted. But yeah, so I guess what they're doing is they're trying to like collect enough people that turns into a scarf or whatever, and whoever has the longest scarf at the end is declared the strongest. So that becomes their leader, which is kind of like operating on the same rules as the previous episode, where it's like whoever we declare as the strongest is going to be in charge. But yeah, I think the biggest surprise we got out of this episode is, hey, everybody, remember that terrifying black evolution that Gamamon does? Yeah, he did it without Hiro's help or any kind of Digivice this time. He just did it on his own.
Oh, and, yeah, I just now know this.
Yeah, and that comes before where, like, Gamamon is losing his ever-loving mind and pretty much goes feral on these things before he, like, just, like, rage evolves into Gulus Gamamon. So, yeah, that happened.
And just took out one of the head Oboromon.
Yep, he just does that. And they're like, all right, he's in charge now.
I don't even think that it's a he's in charge now kind of deal. I think they all hit, didn't it?
I thought that at the end I remember them like saying that they're like he's the strongest now.
Yeah, well, from the animation it feels like they're in awe but also afraid, but not exactly like, oh, you're the boss now kind of deal.
Oh, yeah.
At least that's what I got.
Sure. No, I could definitely see that. Jed, what did you think about this one?
I liked it. I admit though, I got that scene where Gamamon's eyes just go black. I like that scene. I like that moment where all of a sudden it's like a jump scare, just black Gamamon eyes.
Yeah, that scene is legitimately creepy when he just like goes black eyed.
And then it's like Gamamon evolution or whatever. And you're like, oh shit, here we go. I thought it was a really good episode. I liked it.
Yeah. Like poor Gamamon trying his best to save Hiro.
What's interesting is what Gamamon said to Hiro at the end of the episode.
Oh.
Where he's like, you took one step toward me, and he's like, don't let Sorry, I'm stuttering. Don't let Digimon like this take you out, or losers like this take you out.
Oh,
It's like he is. Yeah, it's like he's begrudging respect for Hero at this point.
Interesting. We do carry on the tradition of every time Gulus Gamamon shows up, the episode ends on a shadowy shot of a dark Digimon.
Several this time, didn't it?
I only remember one. It was Black Growlmon.
Oh yeah.
So I think so far we've had Black Agumon, Black Gargomon, and now Black Growlmon. I may be missing one, but that's the ones I can remember.
Him showing up 3 times, so
yeah. So I definitely need an explanation for why that is. Like, why is it when Gulus Gamamon, like a dark Digimon or like a black variant shows up, like they're watching the fight or something?
Maybe they've always been there watching the fight, but they're just waiting
Maybe
for Gulus Gamamon to show up.
Yeah. So like.
Maybe it's their former boss, ringleader, or something.
Maybe, because it does seem like Gulus Gamamon, I'm hesitant to say he seems like out of his 4 evolutions is the most intelligent. Because like his other 3 like are definitely not the child brain that Gamamon has, but like Gulus Gamamon almost seems like he's got something planned.
Yeah.
And much like how I wish this show would hurry up and like tell us what's going on with Hero's dad in the digital world, I also want to know what Gulus Gamamon's deal is, because it's 42 episodes now, and we still have really no idea what his deal is. He just is a dark evolution of Gamamon, so like, what is going on with Gamamon that makes him do this?
Basically, Gamamon, it was Hero's dad's attempt to rehab Gulamon. Like, Gamamon somehow related to some sort of situation where that happened.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah,
Go
ahead.
Which would be in line with the show, which often has the characters, redeeming the villains or trying to work with them, or just not kill them, but try to help them out, or just take mercy on them.
Right. Are you saying Gulus Gamamon is the true big bad of the show?
I think so.
I like the way you're thinking. I feel like that would be a good twist for most people.
Mm-hmm.
Again, that might be giving the show too much credit, let's be honest.
I guess we'll just have to see. Like, again, we still have no idea how long this show is supposed to go for. Like, most seasons run like 50 to 60. So it's like, if they're going to be like really getting into some plot, they better be doing it like real soon. Or this show could be going for like 100 episodes for all we know. We could be like halfway through it right now.
Yeah, that's very true.
Who knows?
I feel like Toei is the only place that really would still do a long anime like that.
Well, a lot of children's shows are like that anyway, so I'm not surprised if they do that.
Yeah, because I know pretty much. I don't know how many episodes Cross Wars had, because I think it technically had 2 seasons. But most seasons are like 50, 52 episodes. I think Adventure 2020 kind of broke tradition as far as I'm aware, and like went to like 60 something. I can't remember exact number. It's almost like we reviewed it or something. Yeah, so I think that's partially what frustrates me, is that like I don't know how long this is supposed to go on, so I keep thinking that like we're running out of time to get to things, and they're just like treading water instead. Whereas who knows, maybe we could be like not even halfway into it yet, so who knows.
Be surprised though if they do go the route of 50, 60 episodes if this one gets a season 2.
Maybe.
Yeah, that could be it.
It ends on a big cliffhanger and like, okay, we'll see you next year.
I will eat something in Rage if that happens.
There you go.
I don't know what yet.
Yeah. Anything else you guys want to mention on this one?
Well, I would like to say that I feel like out of a lot of the episode, I feel like this, if I was the target audience, like 8 or 9, I feel like that I would be able to follow the mystery and solve it just before they figure out about the color thing. Because it's, of course, to us adults, it's very obvious. But here, it feels like it's a good, how should I say it? They written it well to have a novice mystery for kids. Where they planted the clues, and it's like this aha moment when it happens, when the character figures out
Yeah, because like even I was like when Oboromon the first one is like, you know, when he's kidnapping people, like saying like, "Hey, show me this color, or I'll strike you down or whatever." But yeah, like when you see like when Kyo accidentally does it, that's when you kind of like, oh, okay, so that's how you defend him, and then Ruli and like the other girl that they're with, like figure that out too.
But there was the clue of the black bag, but it didn't help them because they didn't run into the black color one.
Right, they ran into the blue one.
Yeah. Oh, but they also ran into the yellow one, which is kind of hilarious. Like, get something yellow, really, just hug.
Yeah, she used to scan Goromon.
That was so cute.
That was pretty funny. Yeah, and just how they keep like just when you think there's like, okay, that's as many as there are, they just keep adding one more up until like there's 5 total. So it's like you just like they keep everyone keeps running into one, and like, Jesus, how many are there?
Remember, kids, bring one of every color with you, on you, all the time to prevent this kind of situation from happening to you.
Two can prevent being turned into a scarf.
Just bring the rainbow with you, and it'll save your life.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the body horror towards the beginning of the scarf, the human chain.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that was when,
yeah, people are starting to like basically have their souls drained out of them while they like fuse arms with the other person next to them. That's kind of honestly terrifying.
They're like,
yeah, the animation for that was actually kind of interesting.
Yeah,
it feels like it feels like they kind of try to save on budget during that particular part, but it plays in so well because they look like shriveled up, like faceless, soulless things.
Yeah, you don't need like a whole lot of movement for that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it works to their advantage.
They look like paper dolls and just get worse from there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, and that sort of like that will definitely uncomfortable, keep you up at night sort of way.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I've ever seen, like, admittedly, there's Digimon shows I've ever seen, but this is definitely one of the creepiest Digimon shows I've watched, and I think it's intentional, but it's just like, it's really good at making me feel uncomfortable.
No, yeah, I mean, Digimon has had like kind of, I guess, spooky kind of episodes before, but like this series specifically is like built on like we're gonna make you like mildly uncomfortable. What would scare like a 10-year-old to a slight extent.
I think this show would have been too scary for me at 10. But I was a very easily disturbed 10-year-old, so.
Did you see them dubbing this when we were still kids, and the fucking Gamamon like goes black-eyed demons and shit, and how many parent groups would be like, this show is showing demons to children, and it needs to be stopped. Anyway. Alright, I think that'll do it for this week. Appreciate everybody tuning in. We'll be back again soon to cover the next episodes. But yeah, man, some crazy shit this week. Crazy stuff going down. Interesting stuff. Yep, until next time, everybody stay safe. We'll catch you next time.
Bye.